Welcome to Xtool tutorials. Today we are going to teach you the concept of interface using Java, and we will be implementing a program, a very simple program to start. Okay, so first we type in the basic commands of Java. Let us save the file first. Okay, I'm going to name it int.java. Done. Now let's start off by declaring the interface. Okay, so let us name it animal, and we will define two functions over here. The void, the name of the function, the name of the animal, suppose, and next let us define how many legs it has. Okay, so int a and int a. Done. We have already defined the interface. Check it out. Now we move on to the various classes that will be implementing the interface. So suppose under the category animal we have dog. So class dog implements and then we define all the functions that were defined over here, that is the name and the legs. So we will override those functions. Okay, so string name and int legs, and now we define all the functions that were written in the interface class. Okay, so we will simply override them. I am writing the command override, okay, so that you can understand that I am overriding these functions. Public void, and the name of the function is name, so public void name string, suppose I give it a. Now the name will be stored in the over here, and we will again override the same legs function over here. So override public void legs and int a, and the legs will be equal to a. So I have already defined a subcategory of the animal interface, that is dog. Let us define another one. Okay, so let me just erase the extra spaces are out here. So class, let us make it a cat. Implements animal string name. This function will be, or the class will be exactly the same. I have to add one more function to it, that is public void show, and here I will display all the attributes that I have included in it, the name and the legs. So system.out.println, as Java has the print line statement, I will just display the name, a space, and the number of legs. It's very simple program. You can just as a beginner you can implement it to get an idea of the interface. Let me just small it out or zoom out a little bit to get a clear-cut idea of what I have written. So it's the interface over here, and the interface has two functions, the name and the legs. Then I define a subcategory of the class animal, and it will be dog. It implements animals. Okay, so inside dog I take two functions, the name and the legs, that I have already written in the interface, and I override them. So you can see the function, and then I just display it out, the name, the legs. Okay, it's a very simple program. And the second subcategory is the cat class. Okay, so it's done. Now I write the driver program for this. Okay, so let it be public class. I have named it int.java. So int, I don't like these things, public static void main, string args, the common line that everyone has to write. And now the main part. So now you have two classes, the dog, the cat, and you have to make the objects for those classes. So dog, suppose ob1 equal to new dog. Okay, and the second object is of the cat. ob2 equals new cat. Okay, so now we define all the parameters of the, suppose this dog class as the name function and the legs function. So we pass on the parameters like ob1, as we have already defined the object of the dog class. So ob1 dot name equals, ob1 dot name, and suppose the name of the dog is Ringo. Okay, ob2 dot legs, the dog has 4 legs. Sorry, this will be ob1 because this is of the dog class. The next is for the cat class. So ob2 dot name, and the name of the cat, suppose it's Jimmy, and assume the cat has 2 legs. I know cat has 4 legs, but assume it. So that now what you have to do is, you have already passed on the parameters, and now you have to display them simply in those classes and using those functions show. Okay, so what you do is, you just write these 2 lines, ob1 dot show and ob2 dot show, and you are done. Let's check out the, let's compile it. It's already in the opp cd YouTube. Yeah, okay, so javac int.java. Okay, so there are errors. So the errors is ob2.name and cat1 ob1. Okay, so let me just check out the errors. I forgot. Yeah, sorry. I'm extremely sorry for this. One more error, public class integer. Sorry. This autocorrect is really a problem. Okay, so Java int, and see Ringo 4 and Jimmy 2. So if I change the name from Ringo to Rim, and again compile it, it's Rim 4 and Jimmy 2. So you can understand, right? If I change it to 3, the cat has 4 legs, so I change to Jimmy and 3, and it will be Rim 4 and Jimmy 3. So that's all. It's a very simple thing to get started. You can try to implement more complicated programs using interface. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.